All right, so last night I went and saw the Venom movie a day early before most people were gonna see it, and I saw a lot of reviews before I saw the movie because I'm that type of person. I like to see the reviews. I like to see people's thoughts, and I get excited. That kind of like gets me excited to watch the movie. Watching a review in some way, shape, or form gets me somewhat hyped to see and to form my own opinion about the movie. And I'm going to do that here for you guys. I'm going to share my opinion, what I thought about the movie. And pretty much, I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. Okay, now this movie is getting a lot of backlash from the critics and all this, and they're saying it's bad, it's not, it's just terrible, and it's just not a good movie. I don't agree with that at all. And I think the consensus between the majority of people that watch this movie are going to enjoy it because not everybody is a critic, you know? Not everybody's going to watch this movie scene for scene and say, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that. There's things I did not like about this movie. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things I didn't like about this movie. But I enjoyed this movie. I definitely did. It's definitely a fun, entertaining movie, okay? But nonetheless, let's just get into the things I did like about the movie, right? The things I liked about the movie is that, first of all, Tom Hardy as Venom was great. The dynamic between Venom and Tom Hardy when they're together in Tom Hardy's body or Eddie Brock's body is amazing. It's really funny. It's kind of like slapstick humor. It definitely reminds me of the Lethal Protector storyline because I actually read the storyline before I saw the movie. Not right before, but like a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, and if it really caught that vibe of Venom trying to take over Eddie's body and Eddie's not okay with it and he wants to control his own body and it's back and forth and it's cool. It's like a buddy comedy. It works. It's funny. And that brings up a point that I don't like about the movie is that it takes a while for Venom to show up, and when he does show up, you don't get as much as you want. You know, you get a decent amount of Venom, but you want more Venom. You know, you don't want more Eddie, you want more Venom. But the dynamic between them keeps it going enough for you to deal with it. You know what I mean? But honestly, I think Venom looked awesome. He looked really cool. Like the CGI was on point. It looked amazing. I enjoyed it thoroughly. But there was something about the antagonist. Okay, like I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free as possible. But there's something about the antagonist that I did not like. The guy that played by Riz Ahmed, the corporate head honcho guy. Like I did not dig that antagonist. He did not feel menacing to me. Like when I see a villain that's supposed to be all powerful and smart and have all this stuff, like a Lex Luthor type of villain, I expect him to be menacing and to it didn't feel natural. It felt like it was kind of forced, and I feel like they could have picked somebody else for the role. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed this movie. I think they had a lot of comic book nods to like certain storylines. I'm not gonna get into too many of them, honestly, because I don't wanna give any spoilers. But I know one of them involves Eddie Brock's girlfriend, and a lot of this is really 90s vibe of comic books. And I think when it comes to the Venom character, I definitely think they got the right idea for him. I think this is way better than the Spider-Man 3 Venom we got. Way better, because that movie just didn't have any sense of direction. And the thing about this movie is that it has a sense of direction sometimes. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I feel like this movie is like all over the place. And it's true. It's tonally just a wreck, okay? Like, it's bad. Like, some scenes I was like, what? But how did that happen from that other scene? Like, it was just kind of like, it didn't really, like, it didn't flow naturally in a sense, it didn't, like, it didn't make sense in every single scene that led up to the next scene, you know what I mean? It felt like something was missing, but sometimes I just felt like the movie was kind of all over the place, and that kind of threw me off a bit. Now, I'm going to be a little biased here and say that I understand why they don't have Spider-Man in the movie, and I get why people are like, damn, like, I wish Spider-Man was in it. I get it. Eddie Brock didn't become, Venom, in the comic books without Spider-Man. I get it. But considering the contract they have, and I accepted the story they gave us. It wasn't terrible. It makes sense how he got it. I feel like the leading up to it was a little off, but the reason he became Venom. You know, this is not really spoiler territory. It's kind of like comic book like history. And I think if you haven't seen like the history of Venom, you could probably find it on YouTube or anything. But I think the story they gave us, based on, you know, what they had for this movie, I think it worked out fine. You know, it's not terrible, but I mean, yeah, it was fine. Now, bringing this review to an end and just sharing my final thoughts, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I don't believe that it's as bad as people are making it seem. It's definitely not as good as some of the MCU movies nowadays, and like, people like to hold this movie up to the MCU and put it up on a pedestal instead of giving it a chance and comparing it to other comic book movies. And I get it, you know, we've been watching comic book movies for the last like 10-12 years, and you know, you expect people to, you know, get a vibe of it. But Sony's obviously still getting their, you know, their universe right, you know, and it's gonna take them a little time. And you know, this movie kind of sets up for another movie, you know, a sequel to this. And you know, there's an end credit scene that helps with that, and the end credit scene's okay. You know, I'm not gonna get into details, but like, I didn't really buy it. I feel like I was like, oh, okay. Like, first of all, I knew it was coming, and second of all, I felt like it just looked bad. They really did. Like, to me, when I think of that character, I'm like, oh, okay. But when I saw it, I was on the big screen. I was just like, I don't know about this. But nonetheless, I enjoyed Venom a lot. I'm trying to think, like, am I gonna watch this movie, you know, a year from now when it comes out on Blu-ray? Like, am I gonna go out of my way to watch this again? And I think I will, to be honest with you. I think I will, because I found a lot of enjoyable things in this movie, and it's enough to keep me entertained for 2 hours, and I think the majority of people will be entertained. So if you're watching this video, take everybody's review with a grain of salt. You should always do that, because you have your own opinion, I have my own opinion, and when I go into a movie, I like to just enjoy it, and if I get enjoyment out of it, I got my money's worth. So nonetheless, oh yeah, there's also I was gonna end the video there, but there's a Stan Lee cameo. It's amazing. I love it. It's probably one of the best in my opinion. I really liked it. It was funny. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, comment down below. I'm thinking about making more Venom or, you know, videos. I kind of want to talk about Carnage. You know, I'm just gonna bleep that out. I kind of messed up. No, but I'm definitely gonna start making more videos. Like, I saw this movie last night, and I just knew, like, I wanted to make a video about it, because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I didn't understand the backlash behind it. You know, I'm not a critic. I'm not gonna be super harsh on this movie. There's things I didn't like about the movie, but there's things I really enjoyed about the movie. And overall, I enjoyed this movie. But nonetheless, I'm dragging this on for very long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.